Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com with the weekly Q&A video. Now these questions come from our Patreons and our YouTube channel members. So if you want to ask a question, you can help support the channel from as little as $2 a month, and you can hit either join or head over to Patreon to do it. So let's jump into those questions. Jacob asked, a few months ago Disney announced the show's Dinosaurs would be coming later this year. Any updates on this? What are your thoughts on this? Now earlier this year it was revealed that Dinosaurs would be coming to Disney Plus. The thing is, it was revealed by Ryan Reynolds on his ABC show, and ultimately it's on an ABC show which is run by Disney, and they announced it. The thing is, it did get edited out of the episode, and yeah, we've not really heard anything more about it. It could have just been Ryan Reynolds having a bit of fun with it, which I do sort of said at the time that might have been the case. I think it'll arrive at some point, but I think right now Disney are just holding on to as much stuff as they possibly can, stretch out that content for 2021, because we still haven't reached where, you know, we've hit that all that stuff that wasn't filmed back in the summer. Eventually we're going to get to a point where they're going to need to use the back catalogue to help fill out the missing pieces. Joseph asked, do you think Disney Plus will do more documentaries like Marvel 616? As far as bringing Marvel documentaries to Disney Plus, I think we're going to see a lot more of them. It just makes so much sense. They're much cheaper for them to make than doing live drama. And I mean, I thought Marvel 616 was very well done. I'm surprised they still didn't do the Marvel storyboards. I think that one should have been on Disney Plus. It was of a high quality show. I just don't know why they put it onto YouTube first, so I'm hoping they put that one on. With other documentaries that have been made in the past, it's all going to come down to whether or not they're owned by Marvel or if they are owned by the company that made them, because obviously that's the big issue. Not necessarily everything might belong to them, so that's the only, there's so many contracts and stuff with Marvel over the years of, it's so difficult to know, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot more, and they will have whatever ones they can put up, they will do it, but it's whether or not with documentaries of an old one, whether or not they feel it's financially viable, that there's going to be enough people to watch it, whether or not they can get the rights to it, etc. Joshua asked on YouTube, as Disney has a relationship with Sony which appears to have improved with them wanting to collaborate more with the MCU going forward, do you think it's possible that they could announce an agreement where SpiderMan and the associated Spider-Verse will be streamed on Disney Plus, as it appears Sony does not want to have an actual streaming service and seems to be more interested in dominating the anime world as with the proposed purchase of Crunchyroll? Ultimately, I think this is very much in Disney's and Sony's interest to do it. They are already working together on the movies, and they are going to have to work together at some point on different shows and stuff, so it makes much more sense for Disney to purchase them rather than going out to other networks, for example like Netflix or Amazon. I'm sure they would love to buy them, but at the same time those companies are also now looking, going, well, we'd rather spend that money on our own content. You know, you look at The Boys and the Umbrella Academy, they're wanting to build their own platforms rather than kind of going out and buying stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But yeah, it makes so much more sense for Sony to do this. It also would really help Disney to kind of get more content. You know, we've seen with Disney Plus already, they are willing to buy content from other companies. This leads on to the random movie fan asking, could Disney Plus ever license titles from other studios? I think this is very much an easy thing they could do for Disney Plus, though I think it would be a bit more restricted. You know, maybe things like The Incredible Hulk or the SpiderMan movies from Sony would make a much more sense for a short term or for a long term deal to get them over there. As far as kind of going out and buying up licenses, I don't know, say like MGM with James Bond or something, very easily could see them doing it. They're doing it with Hulu and stuff at the minute, but it's going to be tricky because everyone is in a competition to try and get hold of it. You know, you got Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon all trying to do the big dollars. It's whether or not Disney view that is worth it, or is it better off putting that money into their own content? It's not as if Disney are struggling to get hold of their own franchises. I think it's more, you know, someone like Amazon would much more rather have that to boost up their, same thing with Netflix, whereas Disney, yeah, I don't know, but I definitely see it could happen. It wouldn't be at all surprised if they did announce something like that. But ultimately, I think right now Disney are more likely just to buy them outright than try and do the licensing deal, because we all know the licensing deals are just so messy. Joshua asks, do you see it as a possibility that they could announce a revival of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist and Jessica Jones series on Star? Do I think Jessica Jones 1 doesn't revert to Disney until 2021 if memory serves? Yeah, I think as far as Marvel goes, this is Disney Plus. I don't really, I think Hellstrom was a bit of an offshoot from where they're doing, and maybe MODOK as well. Those were done before Marvel took over. I can't see anything happening. They're going to want it in the brand. They're going to want to do it the way they do it. I can't see it. I only just finished watching this third season of Daredevil literally like 2 days ago on Netflix. I'm just trying to catch up on them. I didn't end up watching the last seasons of nearly all of those shows. I think I just got bored of them as I was going along. I really enjoyed the first seasons and leading into Defenders, and then after that, other than Daredevil, they all just kind of went down a little bit. I wouldn't be too surprised if Daredevil is pulled back up. Whether or not the other ones, I don't know. I'm hoping they do continue it. I think it'd be a nice gritty one. I think they could do it TV-14, toned down a little bit. And I think they could get away with it. Up it a little bit more than what we're seeing at the minute with the fighting. But they can just tone down a little bit of the blood, a little bit of the other bits and pieces. Because I think it could work. I just don't see why they'd want to put it on Star when... Well, Star's basically going to be Disney Plus anyway, so it's not really going to make a huge amount of difference. But yeah, I think it's just going to stay within the Marvel zone. The random movie fan asks, could horror movies ever come to Disney Plus? I think as with regards to horror movies, I think the main home is going to be Hulu and Disney Plus Star. I mean, they're going to be as part of the Star system and not part of the main Disney Plus. It's just not the core audience. It's not the right people to be heading towards. And it is, horror is generally aimed more for adults, and that's the target audience, not really the Disney Plus one. I think you might get the odd little thing here and there, but it definitely feels to me like something that you would want to push into the other Star and Hulu territory. And in the final question, Joshua asks, do you think with WandaVision being released in January 2021 and Doctor Strange being moved to 2022, is this likely to cause an issue if the series is supposed to run into Doctor Strange 2? I don't think this is going to be an issue at all. We've seen it in the past with the movies. If we were, to get a summer movie, we might not find out what happens next for a year or two. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. We've got a lot of Marvel movies coming up over the next year. We've got Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and The Eternals. I don't think it's really going to matter too much. I think we're all going to remember it. I think it's all going to work quite nicely. And yeah, I really just don't see it as much of an issue. The entire MCU has basically just been pushed back a year, and we're willing to wait. We've seen it with those Avenger movies where we had to wait years between when we saw characters sort of turning up. So I really don't see that as an issue myself. But let me know in the comments below if you agree or not. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, you can go check us out over at What's on Disney's Plus Patreon to help support the channel, and also on our YouTube membership. But again, just thank you very much for joining me, and I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.